I, Hayato, am the captain of the freighter Diana. Today sees the end of my 1-month vacation, and I'll be embarking on the Diana once more. It's 1 hour until we set off. My fiancée Tomoka has come to see me off. I told you that you didn't have to see me off. I told you that you didn't have to see me off. But, even having said that, it secretly made me glad that she came. Well, the thought of not seeing you for another 6 months meant that I couldn't just do nothing. Tomoka looked up at me, worried. Don't make that face. It's not like I'm gonna die or anything. I said it as a joke, but Tomoka raised her voice. Don't say something so unlucky. Sorry. Her fierceness caused me to apologize without thinking. What would I do if something really did happen to you? Tears filled her eyes. Tomoka. I gently embraced her. I spoke brightly, trying to cheer her up. Don't cry. 6 months will pass just like that. I'll be back before you know it. Don't cry. 6 months will pass just like that. I'll be back before you know it. Yeah. I'll be looking forward to some souvenirs, okay? Tomoka said happily, as though trying to brush her sadness away. Souvenirs, huh? How about a ring? Your birthstone is a ruby, isn't it? That's right. I'll buy the most amazing stone I can find. That'll be our engagement ring. Engagement ring? Hayato-san, I'm so happy. Tomoka smiled brightly at me like a young girl. Captain Hayato, it's almost time to depart. Shall we go? The second mate, Sueyoshi, called out behind me. Sueyoshi worked beneath me and often helped me out while we sailed. He was a chill guy from Osaka, and although he occasionally made mistakes, everyone on the boat loved his bright personality. Ah, okay, let's go. I answered Sueyoshi and then turned to Tomoka. I've got to go. Take care of yourself. You know you fall ill a lot. Hayato-san. The steam whistle of the boat blew again, as though tearing through our painful goodbye. Sueyoshi and I went up the stairs to get on the boat. How nice, being engaged to such a babe, huh? I hope I can get such a beautiful wife as that soon myself. Sueyoshi muttered as we went up the stairs. I said to him, Ha ha ha, you'll be able to get a cute girlfriend soon enough. Ha ha ha, you'll be able to get a cute girlfriend soon enough. Heh yeah, I am a looker after all, he said, scratching his own chin. When we got on the ship, the crew who had just been watching us started jeering. So passionate, Captain Hayato. Gan-san. Iwakura, the petty officer, was the first to dive in. We usually called him Gan-san, and he was like the father of all the crew members who dealt with the cargo. Here I was thinking you were a straight arrow, and yet I caught you out, Mr. Smooth Operator. No, it's not like... I couldn't hide the blush on my face. As Gan-san had me put out, the chief engineer Nanjo cut in. The chief engineer was in charge of the all-important job of looking after the boat's engine. Come on now, Gansan. Captain Hayato is head over heels for Tomoka. You don't usually see that type of purity anymore. Hey, Nanjo. Ha ha ha. It's nothing to get all embarrassed about. Besides, that's probably what Tomoka-san fell for about you to begin with. I'd known Nanjo since our days at Maritime College, and we always went head-to-head in everything, from sports to study. Now we work together on the same boat as close friends and colleagues. That's right. I even met Tomoka because Nanjo introduced us. You might say he was our Cupid. As we spoke, the first mate Mitani saw me and came running over. Captain Hayato! What's wrong? It's almost time to depart, sir, but Dr. Mitsuki isn't here yet. He's not on the boat yet? No. Well, what can we do? I sighed, when suddenly I saw Mitsuki standing behind him. You're in the way, Mitani-kun. This is Dr. Mitsuki. My apologies. Mitani stepped out of the way, and Dr. Mitsuki silently entered the boat, his face pale and expression unchanging. What a strange fellow. Wearing a white coat in this heat, and not a single bead of sweat on him. Gansan said, screwing his face up. Gansan hadn't liked the pale-faced ship doctor for a while now, and he complained again. Well then, let's set off. As I called out, all of the sailors ran to their places. The rest of the crew said their goodbyes to their family members and gathered on deck. I left the steering up to Mitani and made my way on deck so I could see Tomoka's face as we departed. The boat blew its final whistle, and it slowly separated from the wharf. The sailors threw the multicolored tape they'd prepared earlier at it. Captain Hayato, here. Sueyoshi handed me a single red tape. I threw it as hard as I could towards the wharf, and Tomoka caught it by its end. Tomoka. Hayato-san! The tape linking us finally snapped, and then disappeared into the ocean. The large body of the ship cut through the deep blue sea. The sound of the ship's whistle combined with the waves and echoed all around. I entered the captain's room to start writing in the ship's logbook. I made my way towards the table and opened to the first page of the brand new book. I pray that we'll return to Japan safely. I pray that we'll return to Japan safely. I wrote down my prayers. I used a piece of the tape I threw at departure as a bookmark and closed the book. When I was done writing in the diary, I went up to the deck to enjoy the night wind. I walked over to the stern, and Kondo was on watch. Captain Hayato, what brings you here so late? I see you're working hard. What happened to Gansan? Isn't he also supposed to be on night duty? About that. He looked like he didn't want to say anything, and Gansan's bad habit came to mind. He's playing mahjong again, huh? His love of gambling is becoming a problem. Ha ha ha. Kondo lowered his head, even though he wasn't the one who'd done anything wrong, and I spoke to him. All right. Well, maybe I should take part in night watch every now and then anyway. You really don't have to do that, sir. I don't mind. Let's go. I started walking along the deck with Kondo. The work was more looking around the ship than inspecting anything. I glanced to the side, and the ocean sparkled like millions of stars had fallen into it. Sea sparkles, huh? I muttered while looking at the glowing sea sparkles on the surface of the water. Beautiful, aren't they? Yeah, it's hard to believe that bugs are giving off those beautiful lights. The light of the sea sparkles seemed to trace the route of the ship in a long stream behind it. Seeing the sea sparkles like this reminds me of the fireflies back in the countryside. Fireflies? Yeah, where I live they fly all over the place during the Obon season. They say they're the spirits of the dead coming back to see their families. There aren't many fireflies left these days, huh? They used to be everywhere in the past. Yeah. Kondo started speaking, a sad expression on his face. When I was still a child, my parents passed away. I didn't know that. When Obon came around, I always caught 2 fireflies in a bottle and took them home with me. Then it was like my parents were right there beside me. Having said that, he watched the sea sparkles before us. I said to him, "It's second-hand, but do you want to hear a story about sea sparkles?" "It's second-hand, but do you want to hear a story about sea sparkles?" I asked. "Ah, yes." Sea sparkles aren't really bugs. They're more like plankton, a type of protist organism. When they're stimulated by something, they flash, giving off light. Kondo turned to me and whispered, "Is that so? So they're not like fireflies then. Fireflies are the light of life." The light of life? I repeated what he said without thinking. "Ah, no, nothing." After saying that, Kondo fell silent. Did you hear something just now? Eh? I looked around, but we were the only ones on deck. The only things around were a wire to hang baggage outside, and a small pool. Although it was really a pool, it wasn't really a pool, more a poor substitute that could fit 2 or 3 people before it was full. It was installed a while back for some of the foreign crew to bathe in. Nobody used it after they disembarked, and it was now covered with a vinyl sheet. "Captain, did you hear something?" "I heard the sound of water." "Captain Hayato, are you serious? We're on the water. Of course you'd hear it." "No, not like that. It was like something jumping." "I didn't hear anything." Kondo tilted his head. I said, "Must have been my imagination." "Must have been my imagination." "Well, Captain, let's go." "Yeah." We started walking again. "Nothing appears to be out of place, huh?" Kondo said to me. "All right, that should do it for tonight. Let's get to bed early so we'll be ready for tomorrow." "Yeah, Let's. We went back to our separate rooms and prepared for the following day. Good night, Captain. Yeah, night. The next morning, rubbing my eyes, I made my way up to the deck. I took a deep breath of fresh air, and Gan-san emerged from the cabin. I called out to him. Hey, Gan-san, were you slacking off last night? Hey, Gan-san, were you slacking off last night? Well... Perhaps he was so surprised that he went into a bad panic. He was so flustered that I entirely forgot my anger. He spoke while scratching his head. I'm sorry. What am I gonna do with you? Mahjong, cards, dice. What was it yesterday? Yesterday was Mahjong. Hear me out. That asshole Nanjo. I was just about to win when he got me. Maybe he's got a grudge against me or something. Having said that, Gan-san closed his mouth. I realized I was frowning. That's enough, all right? I'm sorry. Lay off the gambling, all right? I spoke to him like I was telling off a child. Yeah, I'll be careful. I changed the topic. Anyway, I was thinking we should practice evacuation drills this afternoon. Tell everyone who's free to gather on deck for me, would you? No problem, sir. Looks like it's gonna be hot today, though. Yeah. After watching Gan-san walk off towards the deck, I made my way to the pilot house. When I entered, Mitani and Tsueyoshi were having an argument. What's wrong? What are you bickering over? Captain Hayato. We've discovered a tropical cyclone developing on the ship's course. Mitani said and looked at me. A what? And so, Tsueyoshi and I were discussing whether we should go around it or not. I looked at the radar. For a typhoon, it looks rather small. But if it forms, no doubt about it, it'll become a large typhoon. If we're even just a little late, it'll be right on our route. Mitani spread out the nautical map and pointed out the course change. Tsueyoshi opened his mouth to refute him. Captain, the new route takes us through an area famous for grounding boats. That way is even more dangerous. That area certainly was a reef well known for causing accidents. Captain Hayato, what shall we do? The two of them pressed me for a decision. Let's change course. Let's change course. Mitani, let Tsueyoshi look at the nautical map carefully, okay? Of course. Tsueyoshi looked like he wanted to say something, but Mitani forcibly shoved the map towards him. Here! All right. Just gotta do it, yeah? Oi, do you intend to disobey Captain Hayato's orders? Mitani said jokingly to Tsueyoshi. Tsueyoshi looked at me and quickly shook his head. Don't be absurd. Captain, I have no intention of doing that whatsoever. Mitani-san, please, don't say such strange things. If so, then stop complaining and drill that map into your stubborn head. Come on, Mitani-san. You're a bit much. Tsueyoshi reluctantly opened the map. No matter how many times I'd seen them like this, it never got old. It was like watching a comedic duo. Well, the only reason they could carry on like this was because they trusted each other so much. Two hours passed after I gave the order to change course. I watched the sailors on the deck below carrying out their evacuation drills after lunch as I steered the ship. What's that? Suddenly a shrill warning bell rang out across the ship. I looked down at the deck from the bridge and a crowd had gathered. Looks like something's happened. Mitani, I'm gonna go and take a look. Keep an eye on things up here for me, would you? Ah, of course. Sueyoshi, come with me. We ran out of the room. What on earth is going on? The head cook, Kanai, explained the situation to us with a pale face. It was so hot that we decided to take a dip in that pool there. Then Kondo suddenly got real pissed off and started fighting with everyone. A fight? Why did you ring the emergency alarm over that? Someone stop that noise. It's so loud I can't hear a thing. Captain, we rang the bell because Kondo fell over. Fell over? You mean into the water? Yes, sir. Idiots! What are you doing? Hurry up and help him. Gansan is... Huh? Gansan jumped over to help him. What? Sueyoshi, drop the lifeboat. Sueyoshi and I jumped into the lifeboat as it went down. Where are they? I can't see them. Kondo's an old guy, but there's no way he... Don't say such things. Keep looking. I told him off. Something suddenly came flying out of the ocean at us. Ah! Sueyoshi fell back and the boat shook. Ah! It was Gansan's arm. Gansan! Gansan coughed as he clung to the edge of the boat. Are you okay, Gansan? Kondo is... Gansan, calm down. Kondo's gone under. Pale-faced, Gansan pointed to the water. Sueyoshi, quickly pull him up. Yes. Captain, where are you going? I ignored him and jumped into the water. As I hit the water, my coat clung to my skin. My heart beat faster, and it got difficult to breathe. Where is he? Where on earth is he? I saw a white shirt sinking towards the bottom of the ocean. Kondo! I chased after him and grabbed the edge of his shirt. White bubbles escaped his lips and his eyes were shut tight. Was he unconscious? I had to hurry. I swam for the surface as fast as I could. Sueyoshi thankfully spotted us. Captain Hayato, this way! I swam for the boat as fast as I could with Kondo in my arms. Give me your hand! Sueyoshi put his hand out and pulled both of us up. Kondo! Gansan approached Kondo and slapped his face with both hands. You fool! Don't die on me! I stopped him as he continued slapping Kondo's face. Gansan, calm down. Tsuyoshi, take us back to the ship. Yes, sir. Kanai came running over as we got back on the ship. Captain Hayato, Gansan, are you okay? I screamed. We're fine. Go and get Dr. Mitsuki, quickly. Yes. Kanai ran off towards the medical room at full speed. Gansan desperately spoke to Kondo next to me. Kondo, we're getting you some help now, okay? You're not gonna die. Dr. Mitsuki appeared, cutting through the crew on deck. Get out of the way! Doctor, Kondo is... I tried to explain the situation to him. I heard from Kanai-kun. Now leave it to me. Of course. Gansan, looking like he was about to cry, asked Dr. Mitsuki a question. Doctor, is he going to be okay? Can you help him? I said to him, he'll be okay, Gansan. Kondo will be just fine. He'll be okay, Gansan. Kondo will be just fine. We waited for Dr. Mitsuki to say that everything would be fine and he could help him. But if it had been just a little sooner, he said and dropped his hand. No, you're lying. Doctor? Dr. Mitsuki shook his head at Gansan's words. Gansan shook Kondo's dead body next to me, crying. Kondo! His sad screams echoed over the water. We moved Kondo's body to the medical room. After the autopsy, his body was cleaned, wrapped in vinyl, and then placed in the cafeteria fridge so he wouldn't rot. Everyone held a moment of silence on deck, and then the ship started again. That night, as I sat in the captain's room writing in the log, I thought about the horrible events that had taken place that day. Kondo's profile in the light of the sea sparkles that night, the night before, came to mind, and a deep sadness embraced me. I opened the window to try and change the mood. Huh, so you saw it too, then? Huh? I overheard the crew talking on the deck. Yeah, when I was walking across the deck on duty, I saw this yellow flame darting about in the air. It's gotta be Kondo's ghost. Hey, quit it! Then they started whispering, and I could no longer hear them. So that's what they're talking about now, huh? I remembered what Gansan had said earlier. There are some guys who said they saw a spirit near Kondo. A spirit. I didn't think people still believed in such things nowadays. A spirit. I didn't think people still believed in such things nowadays. But Gansan wouldn't lie either. Maybe Kondo's death was making everyone jumpy. I needed to do something to calm them down. I lay down on the bed. Captain, we're entering the danger zone, so would you mind joining us on the bridge? The door opened and Tsuyoshi entered. Ah, were you asleep? I'm sorry. No, I was just lying down. I'll be there in a moment. Tsuyoshi and I left the room and made our way towards the bridge. there was a thick fog outside the window that I couldn't see even a meter past. When we arrived, Mitani was desperately trying to control the helm. "Mitani, are you okay?" "Hard to say, sir. With this fog, all we can rely on is the map and our instincts." Having switched from automatic to manual, Mitani tightly gripped the helm and focused on what was in front of him. "Shall I take over?" "No, I'm okay right now. Captain Hayato, why don't you go and eat first?" I said to Mitani. "Yeah, I might do that." "Yeah, I might do that. Mitani, I'm counting on you." "Yes, sir." As things were, we'd have to take turns during the night controlling the helm. Sueyoshi and I made our way towards the cafeteria. When we got there, the other sailors were noisily eating. The chef Kanai, Gansan, and several other crew members were there. "Ah, sorry for eating before you, sir," Gansan said, putting his chopsticks down. "Don't worry about it. You've worked hard today." As I sat down, Kanai brought some food over. "Thanks." I picked up some chopsticks to eat when Kanai nervously started talking. Captain Hayato, can I speak to you about something?" "I heard a strange rumor." "Rumor?" I furrowed my brow at his sudden question. "Yeah, ever since Kondo died, people have said they've seen a spirit around the ship." "A spirit?" Kanai was clearly frightened. He was sensitive to talk of spirits or ghostly phenomena, enough that he'd been hospitalized over it before. "I don't know who you heard that from, but there's no way." Kanai shrank at my tone, but he continued in a small voice. "But his dead body's in the fridge, and it's not just 1 or 2 people who've said they've seen his spirit. I'm scared. Could you please do something with that dead body? Please?" He pleaded, a sob escaping his throat. "It's only 2 more days. When we arrive at port, we'll hand over the body, so please endure it till then." Having calmed him, he reluctantly nodded and returned to the kitchen. After he left, Gansan looked at me with a rare dark expression on his face before speaking. "Captain, I wish it wasn't, but what he said was true. I haven't seen it with my own eyes yet, but each person on guard has mentioned seeing the spirit." He jerked his chin towards the rest of the sailors around us. "Hey, you guys, are you really trying to say that you've seen a ghost?" I asked them, not trusting their story, and the crew members who'd fought with Kondo trembled. "Answer him!" Gansan screamed, and everyone nodded at once. The expression of fear on their faces suggested that they weren't lying. I thought, let's get to the bottom of this rumor. Let's get to the bottom of this rumor, I thought. What shall we do? Let's find out what's really going on. Eh? Gansan's eyes opened wide. Let's go on duty tonight. Okay, well then, I'll join you. I'll come by your room later. That'll be a big help. We finished eating our food and then got up. That night, I waited in my room for Gansan. "Come in." I replied to the knock, and Gansan opened the door. "Sorry to keep you waiting. Well then, let's go." "Yeah." After answering him, I grabbed a torch from inside my desk and left the room. As we walked down the hall towards the cargo room, Gansan started speaking. "Captain, what do you really think is going on?" "You mean with the spirit?" "Yeah." "I don't want to believe it." Gansan's face suddenly clouded over. "It's not like I believe it either. But the only people who've seen it are those who fought with Kondo." "Is that so?" "Yeah. And aren't spirits and ghosts and such things that couldn't move on to heaven? If so, then I feel real bad for Kondo. He's not the type of guy who'd hold a grudge against people." I turned the torch on and shone the light around us. "Looks like..." Nothing here. We left the cargo room and made our way towards the engine room. "Gansan, do you see anything strange?" "No, nothing." "I see. Well, let's go to the deck then." We made our way towards the deck. It was so foggy outside that we could barely see a meter away. Not only are there no spirits, there's not even a single light out here, so they were just rumors after all. Gansan clucked his tongue in the darkness. The guys that argued with him must feel guilty about his death. And so they're seeing things. Halfway through, I stopped speaking. "What's wrong?" "Ah!" A yellow light suddenly floated in the darkness. A spirit!" Gansan fell back in surprise. Looking at the spirit, I wondered. "That's a spirit? That's a spirit?" It floated about a meter above the ground and then stopped by our feet. "Captain, quickly, let's get out of here." Gansan screamed desperately in the direction of his feet. But my feet refused to move, like they were frozen. The light landed on Gansan's shoulder as he screamed. I turned to face him. "Huh? What's this?" The tone of his voice changed. "Captain Hayato, look at it! What a cute spirit!" "Eh?" I looked at Gansan in amazement at his sudden laughter. "Don't look so pale. Come and take a look." He motioned for me to come over while laughing. "What on earth?" I nervously looked closer. "It's a firefly! A firefly!" A firefly? The thing we'd called a spirit on Gansan's shoulder was a firefly, giving off a dim light. But what's a firefly doing all the way out here? Gansan tilted his head. Ah! I got it! Got what? Kondo was keeping fireflies here. As I said that, I pulled the sheet back off the pool. As I did, numerous fireflies flew into the air, and lit it up. Kondo thought that fireflies were his dead parents reborn. His parents died when he was just a kid. His parents are fireflies? Yeah, he was keeping them in his room, but they got too many and he needed a large water tank, so he moved them here. So that's why he got so angry. He was just trying to protect the fireflies he was secretly raising here. What a fool, to die over something like this. As he muttered that, Gansan softly grabbed a firefly in his hand. A tear lit up his cheek. Ugh! Suddenly, a large shock rocked the ship. It was so large it nearly threw us into the water. What the hell was that? The impact sent chills through me. It had to be. We've hit something! Gansan, to the bridge, quickly! We ran towards the bridge as the emergency alarm rang. As we got inside, Tsueyoshi was clinging to the helm, pale-faced. What happened? Captain Hayato! Did we hit something? Tsueyoshi looked like he was about to cry as he nodded. Yes. It would appear the ship's belly has hit a reef. What are we gonna do? Tsueyoshi's legs trembled violently. Gansan slapped him. Now's not the time for that. If you've got time to cry, then start dropping the lifeboats right away. Gansan, call for help over the radio. Yes, sir. Gansan ran into the nearby radio room. Nanjo came running into the engine room, soaked. Hey, Hayato, water's already coming in through the bottom of the ship. If we don't hurry, we're gonna sink. There was nothing more we could do. I looked down at the deck from the bridge, and the ship was already tilting heavily. Captain, I called for help. We should also get off the ship right away now. Gansan grabbed my shoulder as he returned from the radio room. It was a race against time. I gave out instructions. Get everyone on the deck, now. We're getting off this ship. The moment I said it, everyone got to work. As the emergency alarm continued, we put on life jackets and got everyone into the lifeboats. But we'd only gotten about half the crew in the boats before the ship started to tilt again. Uah! The sailors' screams echoed across the ship. We're not gonna make it! Jump into the water! As I screamed, the sailors left on the ship jumped into the ocean. We were thrown out into the sea. As the ship sank, the waves of the aftermath grew larger. Even though we had life jackets on, if we got wrapped up in the shock of the ship sinking, there'd be nothing we could do about it. Hey! Captain Hayato! Gansan spotted me and came closer. Behind him was Kanai and several other sailors. Gansan, the rest of you, are you okay? Yeah, but first we should quickly find a boat. Yeah, we should. We looked around desperately, but because of the fog, it wasn't so easy to find any boats. I asked Gansan, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I asked Gansan. Whatever we do, we can't just hang around here. Ah! Kanai screamed as a wave tried to drown him. Are you okay? Yeah, but I'm not a very good swimmer. Do what you can. But having said that, we were thrown into the sea wearing our clothes, so I was getting heavier as well. Even those good at swimming wouldn't be able to keep this up forever. Even now, some of the crew looked tired. Gansan, everyone, can you... I wanted to ask if they could see anything, but then Kanai suddenly screamed. Ah! What's wrong? A spirit! Eh? Everyone turned to look at what Kanai was looking at all at once. It was the fireflies from before, all lit up. We just stared at them, dumbfounded. Run! What? Kanai and several other crew members started swimming away from the fireflies. I told them to stop. What is wrong with you? Hey, wait! It's Kondo's spirit. No, it's not. They're fireflies. Calm down. But they didn't listen and kept swimming towards the ship. Hey, you can't go that way. You'll get sucked into the waves from the ship. I tried to swim after them, but Gansan stopped me. Captain, it's no good. They're acting crazy. Crazy? They probably don't even hear what you're saying. Something spooked them good. But we can't just leave them be. I'm going after them. As I went to chase them, the ship started to fully sink beneath the water, and a massive wave assaulted us. Ah! As I broke the surface of the water, I looked around, but I couldn't see Kanai or the others. That one nearly got us, Gansan said behind me, shaking his head. Gansan, where are Kanai and the others? Ah, yeah. They didn't get caught in that wave, did they? No way! Only Gansan and I were left floating in the dark ocean. Captain Hayato, look! I turned around at his voice, and all the fireflies started moving in the same direction, together. What's going on? I don't know. Gansan shook his head. Let's follow them, Gansan. Captain Hayato. It's all or nothing. They're the only lights we have to rely on in this darkness. Gansan and I swam through the foggy night, following the group of fireflies. The rough waves slowly depleted our energy. After we'd been following the fireflies for a short while, we heard voices over the waves. Hey! Is anyone out there? If so, answer us! Nanjo! Hayato? Where are you? Where are you? Over here! I continued screaming. A lifeboat approached us through the fog. Gansan! Hayato! Quickly, pull us up. We've no energy left. We were worn out from swimming and could barely even float anymore. All right, got you. They pulled us up into the boat. You saved us. Gansan and I coughed and collapsed on the boat. So you were okay? Nanjo said. I asked, Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? Well... Nanjo's face clouded over. I panicked and looked around. 1, 2, 3... Some people were missing. The guys on the deck. Mitani cast his eyes down. For some reason, only those who argued with Kondo on deck were missing. Suddenly, a single firefly flew in front of us, its dim light floating in the air. Seeing it, Nanjo whispered, "When I fell into the water, that firefly came flying over." I didn't need to hear any further. I understood. It saved us. As I closed my eyes, I could see Kondo's sad, smiling face, the sea sparkles lighting up the sea in the background. We could hear the sound of a helicopter. They must have received the last radio call we sent out. "Kondo, thank you," Gan-san whispered.